guys, the Home Service Pro here.
Today, she's going to be showing you guys how to change out the flapper in your toilet.
Let's get started.
So this is the toilet that's given us the problems. So I'm going to show you how to check to see if it's actually the flapper or if it's something else. So let's go ahead and open up that toilet and we'll take a look. If you notice, the water in there is continuously filling the bowl. Let's go ahead and take a look in the tank. Inside the tank, you'll physically watch the water go up and down. Right now, it's filling. The fill valve is filling. Once that shuts off, it just shut off. And now we'll physically watch that water, and you can see it dropping down the fill tube right here. If you watch that, you can see the water actually going down in the tank. What's happening is it's going past that corky flapper, which runs over into the tank here. So we're going to go ahead and get the water shut off to the toilet. That's the first step that you got to do when changing out your flapper, is shut the water off. There's always going to be a shut off behind the toilet. You turn it clockwise, and that'll shut your water off to the toilet. Once that water is shut off, we're going to go ahead and flush the toilet to empty the tank out. Once all the water is out of the tank, then we're going to go ahead and disconnect the flapper. On each side of the flapper, you'll see that there's a little wing that's got a hole in it, and you just literally disconnect that from the hooks on each side of the fill valve. Once that's disconnected, you go ahead and disconnect the chain from the flush handle. Once that's disconnected, we now have the flapper. It has been removed, and you can see that dark stain right there on the front. That right there is where the water has been sneaking past and running continuously through there. Rather, the rubber's got some calcium built up on it, or it's maybe warped. It's hard to say why it was actually leaking, but that you can tell that that is where it was leaking. So we're going to go ahead and get the new one set up. So here's the old flapper and two of the new flappers. As you can see, this flapper here is an exact replacement for it. They do make several different types of flappers for different styles of toilets. They have, as you can see alongside this package, they make like 8 different flappers for different style toilets. So depending on which toilet you have, every flapper is a little different. You may have to buy more than one. But we're going to go ahead and get this one right out of here because that one has nothing to do with what we're doing today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and unbox this. Once we get it unboxed, we'll go ahead and show you how to adjust it. So we have the new corky flapper out of the box. The next step is we are going to adjust the chain length to where it's pretty close to where it needs to be before we get it into the toilet. The easiest way of doing that is you aim the two fronts toward each other, grab the chains by the hook of the old one, and then we're going to see what length that lines up with, and then we're going to remove the clip from the new corky flapper and adjust it to where that chain length was. And that's going to get us pretty close. We may have to make some adjustments once it's in the toilet, but this is going to get us really close to where it'll probably work without having to do any other adjustments. So there we go. We've got the chain all set up. We're going to go ahead and move back over to the toilet, and we'll get that guy installed and see how we did. All right, so now we have the new corky flapper all set up. We're going to go ahead. The first thing you're going to do is hook the hook into the flush lever. It's a lot easier to do it now than when it's down inside the tank and hooked up. So there we go. Now the hook is hooked. Now we're going to go ahead and put the wing L's onto the fill valve on both sides. Once you got that done, we're going to go ahead and wiggle the handle a couple of times. That's going to help that get lined up. Now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and turn the water on to the toilet. And this time we're going to go counterclockwise to turn the water on. And you're going to turn that, you'll feel the handle come to a stop right there. Then you know you're completely on. Now what we're going to do is just watch this and make sure that it fills up all the way. Every toilet fills up at a different rate, so don't be alarmed if it takes a few minutes for that to fill up. Every toilet is based off from what the water pressure is inside the house. So it may take just a little bit for this to completely fill and shut off. And then I'm going to show you a little trick that will help you figure out whether it is still leaking or whether it's sealed tight. If you look inside of the tank or inside of the bowl right now, you'll see that you can see some water moving. That's just because the fill valve is actually dumping water down the fill tube right here to fill the bowl up to the proper height as well. So you're going to have some water movement until that valve shuts off. And there we go, it just shut off. So the trick is going to be, we want to watch that water level and actually see if that water level drops or not. So what you do is if you take a toothpick and you stick it into the foam right at the top of the water level, just like that, and now we can walk away from it for about 5 minutes, and we can come back to it and see if that water level dropped. If that water level didn't drop, we know that the corky flapper is sealed up and everything is working in the way that it should. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, and as you can see, that water level stayed right where it needs to be. So we know that that water level is staying solid, so we know that that flapper is sealed up properly. If we want to look inside the toilet here, we can see that there's no water moving inside of the bowl at all. That means that we're sealed up good. So now all we got to do is put the toilet tank lid back on. Once that toilet tank lid's back on, we have successfully installed the flapper on the toilet.
Okay guys, so we have successfully installed a new corky flapper into the toilet and it is working how it should. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe because it does help our channel grow. If you have any questions or you would like to see something in particular, please comment them down below and we will try to help as much as we can. So please have a great day and remember, you got this. Thanks guys.